The Paraguayan Ministry of Defense has officially confirmed that Brazil will donate 20 EE-11 Urutu armored personnel carriers to its land forces. This delivery marks a pivotal moment for the Paraguayan army, which will see its armored vehicle fleet grow from 12 to 32 units. For a military that has long struggled with outdated platforms and limited investment in mobility, the reinforcement is far more than a symbolic gesture. It is a material boost to Paraguay's operational capabilities and a signal of Brazil's broader defense diplomacy at work across South America. For Paraguay, the acquisition represents the most significant increase in armored capacity in over a decade. Years of fiscal restraint and reliance on legacy systems had left the army with a limited ability to maneuver large numbers of troops under protection. The Urutu donation, combined with the modernization program that Paraguay itself will finance, offers a relatively affordable way to bridge the gap between aging equipment and the eventual purchase of more advanced platforms. The EE-11 Urutu has a long and respected history in the region. Conceived in the early 1970s by the Brazilian defense manufacturer Engisa, the six-wheeled armored personnel carrier was designed with an emphasis on durability, ease of maintenance, and adaptability to multiple environments. Over 1,500 units rolled off production lines, many of them destined for export. Countries such as Venezuela, Colombia, and Ecuador adopted the Urutu for their armies, using it not only in conventional defense roles but also in internal security and international peacekeeping missions. The Urutu is amphibious, capable of transporting a full squad of 12 soldiers, and originally mounted with a 12.7 mm heavy machine gun. While not comparable in sophistication to today's armored carriers with advanced digital systems and modular protection, the Urutu has survived for decades because of its practicality. For militaries with constrained budgets, the vehicle remains an efficient option, inexpensive to maintain, rugged in rough terrain, and adaptable to different operational settings. Paraguay's fleet will not remain in its original 1970s form. The modernization package, which will be fully funded by the Paraguayan Ministry of Defense, includes upgraded armor plating, improved suspension and transmission systems, and new night vision capabilities. These enhancements extend the Urutu's relevance well into the next decade, ensuring it can perform effectively against both traditional and non-traditional threats. Brazil itself is steadily retiring the Urutu from its active units. The Brazilian army is replacing the vehicle with the VBT-PMR Guarani, a 6x6 armored platform with significantly enhanced mobility, digital integration, and NATO-standard ballistic protection. The transition reflects Brazil's long-term modernization trajectory, which has prioritized modular systems and improved interoperability with international partners. Instead of allowing the Urutu to fade into obsolescence, however, Brazil has chosen to use the vehicle as an instrument of defense diplomacy. Donating surplus vehicles provides a dual benefit: it strengthens regional allies while simultaneously reinforcing Brazil's role as a leading security actor in South America. By supplying neighbors with proven platforms, Brazil not only ensures interoperability but also embeds its defense doctrine and operational experience into partner militaries. This transfer is therefore about more than hardware. Paraguayan Army Commander General Manuel Rodriguez emphasized that the delivery embodies a transfer of doctrine and tactical experience, enabling Paraguayan forces to benefit from decades of Brazilian operational knowledge. This aspect of the deal enhances joint training and cross-border cooperation, particularly important given the region's security challenges. One of the most pressing issues for Paraguay is the stability of its border zones, especially the so-called triple frontier where Paraguay meets Brazil and Argentina. The area is notorious for smuggling, organized crime, and trafficking networks that exploit porous borders and limited law enforcement capabilities. Armored vehicles like the Urutu are not simply tools for battlefield scenarios but also assets in operations to secure critical regions against non-state actors. In this context, the donation helps Paraguay project greater mobility and deterrence in areas where rapid response and troop protection are essential. While the Urutu may not match the cutting-edge protection of modern armored carriers, its reliability and presence are significant force multipliers for a country facing asymmetric threats. Paraguay's defense planning has long been shaped by limited budgets and competing fiscal priorities. Large-scale acquisitions of entirely new armored vehicles remain beyond reach, at least in the short term. Instead, the government has opted for a pragmatic mix of donations, targeted upgrades, and selective purchases. The modernization of 20 Urutus is the most substantial single investment since 2012 and forms part of a broader shift in procurement strategy. In recent years, Paraguay has acquired Oshkosh MATV vehicles through the U.S. Excess Defense Articles Program and purchased 6 A-29 Super Tucano light attack aircraft from Brazil's Embraer. Each of these acquisitions represents incremental but meaningful progress in upgrading military capabilities while respecting financial limitations. The Urutu program, therefore, is not an isolated development but part of a broader reorientation of defense priorities. By combining external donations with domestic funding for modernization, Paraguay can maximize capability without straining its limited defense budget. This model reflects a growing trend across South America, where smaller militaries balance ambition with economic constraints by upgrading legacy systems rather than rushing to procure entirely new fleets. Brazil's donation also highlights its role as a central defense partner in the region. By transferring surplus vehicles and assisting neighbors with training and doctrine, Brazil consolidates its influence while advancing collective security. Such moves underline the importance of defense diplomacy as a tool of regional leadership, ensuring that Brazilian military standards, training practices, and operational concepts shape the broader security environment. For Paraguay, the benefits are immediate: enhanced armored mobility, a more credible deterrent posture, and stronger interoperability with its largest neighbor. For Brazil, the payoff lies in deepened ties, improved regional security cooperation, and a practical mechanism for retiring aging systems while maintaining relevance for them in allied armies. The arrival of 20 EE-11 Urutu armored vehicles in Paraguay may not revolutionize the country's armed forces overnight, but it represents a decisive step forward after years of stagnation. The modernization program will extend the vehicle's lifespan, allowing Paraguay to field a functional armored force at a fraction of the cost of new acquisitions. The deal illustrates how smaller militaries can achieve meaningful improvements through pragmatic choices and how regional powers like Brazil can use defense diplomacy to strengthen ties and enhance stability. At a time when transnational crime, limited budgets, and geopolitical uncertainty shape South American defense planning, the Urutu transfer underscores the enduring value of legacy systems, when paired with smart upgrades and strategic cooperation.